We've really seen a huge improvement in the accommodations. When we first started coming here, they got the place in working order and they're working hard to bring it up, but every year it just gets a little nicer. They're doing a great job here. And so we're always calling them to find out how many beds we can use. But they do have separate dorms, obviously, for the girls and the guys, which is key. And so they bring their own bedding. Obviously, they bring their own towels, all their toiletries and all that stuff. We do have them clean the dorm bathrooms daily and their rooms daily. Because otherwise, especially in this type of ministry, day camp ministry, very dirty. Hang all your wet stuff outside. That's a key mistake people make early on, is keeping their wet stuff inside. And then we just try to keep a general decorum in the dorms, especially at night. You know, we say to our kids, don't ruin at night the things the Lord is doing during the day. We work very hard with our staff to keep down any carnal activity at night in the dorms, especially pranks, things that usually just break down the work of the Lord. Certain, 2 or 3 kids get hurt while everyone else is laughing. Room wars, anything that's going to be destructive to both property and anything that's not edifying. I think in youth ministry a lot can get robbed at night, so it requires discipline on the part of staff, and it requires discipline on the part of all the people that are here sleeping. But because it's physically demanding, it's important to get in bed at a certain time. So, again, they're teenagers and they're usually most wound up late at night, whereas they might be trying to fall asleep during the Bible study. But midnight, usually by the latest, we're in bed, lights out, we fed them a little bit of food, their bellies have a little something in them, and we wake them up again at 8 o'clock, and they do have to get out of bed at 8 o'clock because they have to be outside by 8:15 getting their personal devotion. So you get a good 8 hours of sleep every night. It is important because they usually by Thursday, some of them are dragging and we'll say, you need to go to bed tonight, make sure you go to bed. But we keep the dorms, try to keep the dorms spiritual with varying degrees of success, and try to enforce those bedtimes decently as well, just so they get to sleep. And we say to them, look, it's a ministry, you're not just here for fun. So every part of the week is part of your service and your offering to the Lord. So going to bed is part of your ministry. Not being rowdy in dorms is part of your ministry to the Coatesville kids and part of your worship of the Lord Jesus. Getting up on time, being out in the Word, it's all part of the mission. So we really try to tell them, like, the whole week is a mission that starts the week before with the first meeting, and every aspect, whether it's cleaning or keeping something clean or going to bed, it's all part of that. So we want them to get the sense that there's not an off switch and an off time while they're here at camp. We do fun things with them, we give them free time, but there's never a time when they turn off the ministry switch and just get to act like they're not saved. We want them to get a sense for a whole life lived under the direction of the Spirit. And I think for some of them, it's the first time they've really encountered that. Like, oh, it matters that I keep my room clean because of the Lord and the ministry. So that's we love the accommodations here.